Have you ever asked yourself why it feels like you are addicted to a narcissist, to the narcissist, just like a drug addiction? I remember absolutely 100% not being able to stop myself from breaking my no contact repeatedly. I kept going back no matter how badly I was treated and how hard I tried to break free. And the narcissist in my life knew exactly how to identify and trigger my most primal traumas. And I could not stop myself from obsessing and feeling that I had to clear up our unfinished business. And if you find yourself stuck in this type of addiction to a narcissist, clinging to them and trying to get them to transform into your savior instead of walking away to save yourself, then you are in one hell of a position and an addiction. And this addiction has such a stronghold on you, and I will explain why. Let's get very, very, very clear on what an addiction to a narcissist will look like for you. It's when you cannot stop breaking no contact. It's when you feel like you need closure and you feel like you cannot go on without it. You feel like you are obsessing and coming up with every reason and excuse to get back into contact with this narcissist because you are thinking, oh, I just need to know this, or I just need to hear that, or I need to make it stop feeling like there is unfinished business. And even if you have been able to go no contact and you can stop yourself from contacting the narcissist, even for years, it can feel like the narcissist is still living inside of you, much like an entity, like a terrible psychic virus. So when you're feeling this way, what this means is that you are still addicted, and what it is in a scientific sense is a peptide addiction. And I want to explain to you what this physiological cellular thing is and how it works. It means that you have been receiving, and your body is used to receiving, huge hits of a chemical that your hypothalamus and your brain has created in relation to your perception of the events that occurred in your relationship. And with this brings a big emotional somatic body rush. So things like betrayal, things like heartbreak, things like devastation, and feeling like you're going to be annihilated or you cannot live without this person. Those are these huge emotional rushes, and the cells of your body, they literally get hooked on these things. And what happens is that your brain is forced into thinking the thoughts that are then going to signal an electric signal that goes to your brain that makes your hypothalamus create that drug. The peptide again, that the cells of your body receive and that fulfills this addiction. So this is truly a biophysical addiction. Now, the source of the addiction, the drug, is in all actuality the narcissist. So when you think about the narcissist, what happens is you go back to the narcissist or you break no contact. This is the cycle of addiction. And when you go and you get your drug, what happens is your hypothalamus creates that peptide and your body gets that hit. And initially, it's like, oh my gosh, there's this huge relief. And it's almost as if you're walking around with rocks in your shoes and then you take them out. And it's this huge relief. And but what would happen if the rocks in your shoes continue to fill up again regardless? This is exactly what happens when we are cellularly addicted to something. Your cells will need more and more and more to get that same relief. More thoughts about the narcissist, more obsessing, more going back over the relationship over and over and over again. And then finally breaking no contact, that initial relief, and then it builds up again, because what is happening to your cells is as they split and multiply, the receptor docking points to receive the particular peptide that you're hooked on, such as betrayal, heartbreak, devastation, those receptor points keep doubling your cells, and they need more and more and more to get fulfillment. Narcissistic abuse is more addictive than all synthetic drugs put together. This is about triggered trauma within, that somebody is trying to numb out with the addiction to the narcissist. And this is what happens is the addiction ultimately adds to the problem. So let's say that we are not feeling good enough, or that we are not feeling lovable, and we're not feeling worthy. And then if we were to, say, go out and have a cigarette or get drunk or have sex for the sake of sex without intimacy, without love, or we would hook back onto somebody hurting us and go gamble and lose our entire paycheck for the month, or whatever it is, then the addiction is going to bring out even more feelings of being unlovable, unworthy, defective, hopeless, and helpless. It is an additional breakdown. And this is the thing right here. Then the breakdown, it will make this cycle increase. There's the breakdown, which is the anxiety, the insecurity, the trauma, and then comes the self-medication, the addiction, which then brings more of the breakdown. It is a horrible, perpetual, self-fulfilling prophecy of disintegration. And when we have a narcissist and we have narcissistic abuse, what is the trigger? The trigger is the trauma. What is the anxiety? The narcissists know exactly how to identify and trigger our most primal traumas. These are the literal terrors of not being loved, not being accepted, not being able to secure our own security or even our own survival. These are also terrors of being ourselves. The terrors of, if we show up as ourselves, we might be criticized, we may be rejected, which could lead to the worst thing, us being abandoned. We could be punished. We could actually lead ourselves to our own annihilation. These very deep and primal terrors are exactly what the narcissist triggers off within us. These are massive, massive anxieties. And then when we're stuck in an addiction to a narcissist, we cling. We try to transform this person into being our savior from these terrors. And ironically, the very person who is triggering them is bringing them up in huge technicolor. And we try to bring this person back, the person that they pretended to be in the beginning, the person who was going to fix everything for us, because that's what the narcissist did at the start. They hooked us with promises of, I will love you, I will approve of you, I will grant you survival and security and all of those things for the rest of your life. And if this is a parent or a family member, that person was supposed to help you grow up into wholeness of these topics, those things in your, and everything, all of those things in your life. So I don't know about you, but I was shocked at the intensity of addictive pulls that I myself had to the narcissist and to the narcissist in my own family. And if you are going through this right now, this incredible, ridiculous intensity of the addictive pull to a narcissist, heroin addicts have told me it's 10 times worse than being on heroin. The narcissist is a symptom of the addiction. And I really want to kind of give you a deeper understanding of this, because this is very vital for you to hear so that you can heal from this addiction. The narcissist is actually a symptom. They're a symptom of the addiction. The narcissist is the way that you are trying to self-medicate something deeper that is going on within you, whether you know it or not. And here's the thing. Trying to combat the symptom, the narcissist, does not work, because when you are focused on the narcissist and trying to force them to love you and approve of you and give you that survival and that security, that's not where the problem is truly at. That's not where things are really going on. Where it is going on is inside of your body. We're going to talk a little bit about it and how to truly heal from an addiction to a narcissist. And as I said, it's in your body. It is in your being. And that's what needs to be addressed. It's completely powerless and hopeless, helpless to try to change them. And it is not to change you. To truly heal from an addiction to a narcissist, what needs to happen is turning inwards and addressing the anxiety and trauma that is fueling this addiction. That is the causation of the addiction. Heal where that is truly coming from. And how do we do that? We must first detach from the narcissist and who they are and learning all about them and trying to force them and make them accountable and change them into parenting our unhealed, young, and broken parts, which have been set up long before the narcissist, or if the narcissist is your parent, that has always been the dynamic. So how we change this is letting go of that person and what they're doing and turning inwards to self-partner and heal these emotions and these fractures that are within us. So I just want to remind you that if you now feel hope that you can possibly get off of that deadly hooked addiction to a narcissist, that deadly addiction that can take you to your full demise, as it nearly did myself. If you are feeling hope now, I truly hope that you are feeling hope. I would like you to write something down. I have the power to set myself free. And I really want you to stand in that, declare that, and again, write that down. I would like to take you through a bit of an exercise where we are going to say another mantra together to start connecting to the inner part of you that is screaming out for you, not the narcissist. Those parts are waiting for you as the only person who can heal these back to wholeness as a child is you, 100%. You had role models who were supposed to help bring those to fruition, to wholeness. But these people, they don't hold themselves. And they had people who were parenting them that wouldn't hold them as well. So now we have to change this cycle as an adult. And this is between you and your creator. So let's say this mantra together. And I just want you to breathe and close your eyes and open up your body and relax and say to yourself, repeat after me. My sweet inner being, I feel your pain and I feel your fear. I am now turning inward to love you, hold you, and heal you into wholeness so that together we walk this earth making the choices that bring more health and wholeness. And so it is. I just want you to breathe that in and feel those statements in your body. That mantra, write it down. It's a great one for you to remind yourself and tell yourself throughout the day and night. And I hope that this brings some help. I hope that this brings some relief of your pain. So if you now feel hope that you can get off, again, that deadly addiction of being hooked to the narcissist, you are well on your way to a beautiful new life. My name is Sara Ann Brown, and this is Narcissistic Abuse 101.